Bro. I like the thumbnail.
Pestily, and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. Today I'm talking about Arena. I'm going to go into depth of everything good, bad, and the ugly for this new game slash mod slash whatever you want to call it. And it's going to be pretty brutal. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. Now, for anyone who's new to what Escape from Tarkov Arena is, I'll do a quick run through. Pretty much Escape from Tarkov Arena is its own standalone game for Escape from Tarkov, where you get to play the PvP aspects of Escape from Tarkov in a 2v2, 3v3, 5v5 game mode where BSG want to take it to like an esports level. Now, if you were to buy Escape from Tarkov Edge of Darkness Edition sometime in the past, you are meant to get access in order of how early you bought it. And then also, if you buy the standalone Escape from Tarkov Arena, you'll get access at some point. At this current point, it's mostly just been streamers that have had access, and then also some random people. And then on top of that, if people have been buying Escape from Tarkov Arena standalone right now, they're getting instant access. So it's a bit of a mess, and BSG are trying to work on it so people get the access in waves, but let's just leave it at that. It's a bit of a mess. Next up, I'll give you the layout of how this thing works. So the settings will...
That's the most important part though. Like, I mean, if people are gonna buy it, I mean, people are gonna play it, they need to buy it, but the buying method or getting the game method is so fucked up. Anyways,
just cross over from your main account. You have a rating system where they're gonna have a leaderboard on who's the the bee's knees of top 500 or whatever. Your career stats, showing how many games you played, how long you've been online, all that kind of stuff. Your level and skill progression. Next, you have your preset. So these are the loadouts you can take into the game. So as you're based off your rank, I'm at Jackal, which is like your default starting rank. You get access to different loadouts from the rating. So there is the Marauder, there's the Jackal, and then it goes up from there. So as you go Mercenary, Fighter, etc. Now, then there is also individual classes, I guess, and you level up these classes by playing them. So for example, I've been focusing on doing the Scout. I went the Plantain, which is the Keter. They went to the PP19, and I'm halfway through going into the Sawbone / Whistle preset, which is about 12 games I've played. As you get more kills, you get experience points. It's not just about winning. Winning helps, but kills also do help as well. Even healing a little tiny bit.
I think winning is biggest.
You can put your favorites and you can get collection ones. This is from buying or getting Arena before the actual release of Arena, or at least the CBT, not the cock and ball torture, the closed beta testing. That's pretty much all you need to know from that side of things.
Cock and ball
As it comes
torture?
from Arena, you have the unranked mode, which isn't available, which should be available, but let's talk about that soon. And then there's ranked and custom.
Wait. Custom is actually available then? Give me a sec. Oh, it's available. Okay.
You can go 2v2 / 3v3, or you can go the 5v5. Every game that I played was in a 5v5. I did half my games not in a squad, and then I started queuing up as a squad. Click next, and then you get into it. That is pretty much it. Once you get into a game, you pick your preset. You are locked into using that preset for the entirety of the game, and then you go and kill your opponents. First to 5 matches or 5 rounds, 1 wins. There's no like having to win by 2. It's not, best of 5. It's literally first to 5. So you could win 5-0, or it could be 5-4, or you could lose in the opposite way. Now that is the rundown of what this game mode is. Let me start breaking down the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'll start with the good. It's not a huge list, but there is a list of good things. It is a really good way for if you are new to Escape from Tarkov, or you just want to get into some PvP action. You get to learn some of the gun mechanics, the healing mechanics, and the movement in a very simple and easy mode. It is pretty straightforward. You just press go, you queue in, you pick a preset, and then you start shooting at your opponent.
But to be honest, what I think is, I don't think the noobs will actually learn Tarkov mechanics through this game. To be honest, I mean, like, it's a quick practice, I get it, but Tarkov mechanics, I don't think they'll understand. Will they know double R is a quick reload? Will they know there's a cancel med, while reloading? I mean, while healing, you can reload with the cancel animation, or I don't know, the right pick is more important. Will they know that? I guess they can at least practice it quick here, I guess.
So I think that gives you a very raw, there you go.
Yeah, you're right, Wolfsman.
In Escape from Tarkov experience, and it meets that standard. standpoint. All right, so that is a definite good thing. It's also a bit of harmless fun. There's not too much riding on it. Obviously, there's ranked at the moment. I do it in quotations, but really, it doesn't really matter if you got a high rank or not, and that's the simple part of it. You can go have some seriously harmless fun, jump in with your friends and all that, and you can get in. The next bit is, it is actually quite fun. It can be quite fun.
It's fun. It's fun, yeah.
Together,
I like it.
You are slapping and killing everyone, and it's good to go.
Yeah, if you're killing everyone, it's fun.
Preface it. I like to make the note here, though. Hanging out with your mates can be fun pretty much doing anything. You can throw rocks at a tree with your mates, and you'll probably have a great time. So I always like to preface, give that warning label that, yeah, it's fun to play with mates, but obviously most things you do with your mates are pretty fun. So ultimately, I think
throwing rocks,
a little bit of an asterisk next to it. But it is good fun when you are playing with mates. All right, I'm going to break down the bad into a lot of things. I'll start literally from the very beginning of where it starts and then get into that. So into the settings. There is no audio setting for the announcer. All right, so you don't have any of those extra settings.
That's why you guys were talking about it.
The announcer is very annoying. He's constantly yelling.
I didn't really care about him that much.
The crowd's constantly making lots of noise. And then on top of that, you also have issues with when you first get in there, it's like, you know, when someone holds a microphone up to a speaker and there's that feedback, high-pitched screech? That happens at the start of some of the games.
Oh, that sound.
It's like, yeah, cool. It was funny for the first time, Nikita, but we don't need to hear it every 5th game. It's really, 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 really irritating and annoying. Now, let's talk about presets. Some of the presets are completely OP. I don't really remember which ones exactly. Like the stiletto, for example, you get AP ammo, and pretty much all the armors are class 4 armors for the starting ones. So if you push down to say getting the stiletto, which would probably take 20 games, 20 wins, mate. Oh, not even 20 wins, just 20 games. You'd have the stiletto, and you could be using a slug, AP 20, that can one-tap people across the map. It's like some of these things are just really, really powerful. You know, why would you use that over an SV98, for example, where you have to headshot someone? And then there's other classes, I was pretty much going to town. I started off using the STM9, which was this one here. It was absolutely trash. The second I switched over to using the Keta and getting over to the PP19, I literally went from dying all the time to I'm nearly at a 2 kill death ratio, which I've looked at other people playing this game. Just briefly going around, I've been listening to their feedback, asking a few questions to other streamers. Most people aren't over 2. Even the better players that you know are sitting between 1 and 1.5. So I didn't play super serious, but I tried. I wanted to take it somewhat serious to see what it would be like if I played the game a little bit more serious. I think some of the big issues with the presets layout, which it kind of annoys me, as you are playing through this game mode and you're leveling up your presets, you eventually will get down to better and better and better presets, right? So say, for example, we get down to here, we've got a class 4 armor on with the fast MT, we've got an AK-104 using, you know, MAI AP ammo, which cut through everyone. You know, you even got an MP5 with rip ammo, so you can do leg meta and stuff like that. Now, if you were to get all the way down here, but you're at a lower rank, you're going to get put into games that are people that are using the Keta, you know, and they've got pretty much no armor on. So you're going to be just absolutely killing those people, and they're not even really going to have a chance. And I've been seeing a lot of that. People just trying to level up one of their presets, going into games that are, you know, people going all full sweat with the best loadout they can, and they're getting absolutely destroyed. They really should have separated and just locked off ranked mode and just had an unranked mode for a while so people could level up their presets. So then they could start taking ranked a bit more serious. Because right now you've got 5 stacks of gamers going in, trying to get up the high ranks as quickly as possible. And then you got other people just saying, hey, I'm trying to get level up this weapon. And it's kind of a bit great idea, poorly executed. I think you're going to hear that a few times from me. All right, so say you do know which preset you want to use when you go in. So you click Arena Battle and you click Ranked, you go next and you queue up. I'm not going to go all the way. Okay, so you see this screen right here. I shouldn't have done that, but see this screen right here. Now, if I don't accept this, every other person who's been sitting there for those 30 seconds is going to get booted out and has to re-queue again. I've clicked in to play the game. I've already said I wanted to play. Why put another accept button in there? I don't understand it. It's not needed. Right? If you've already clicked, you said you wanted to go into that ranked game, bam, you should be pushed into that ranked game. And there shouldn't be anyone, you know, not clicking accept like I have right now.
I mean, we kind of talked about this in the stream. It's because there's 5 maps selected, and then Actually, you're right. Actually, Pestily is right. The 5 mechs selected, the ones. I mean, you can literally unselect them by yourselves. So I'll show you guys. You can literally unselect them. Like you can select, unselect, or select, unselect. But the guys who's on the queue already, where you see the accept button, is admitted that they're gonna do all these ones. So I think what Pestily is saying is right. UI is kinda weird. But doing that every time, I think what Pestily is saying is right. I was thinking that it might be because the guy doesn't want the map, that's why he's not accepting it. But if you think about it, you can literally do that here, not have to do it twice. I think he's right.
That's why it just said 30 seconds of people's time, right? And it's really frustrating if you've been waiting 2 or 3 minutes for a queue, and then you've booted all those other people back to either having to click, arena battle again, or put them back in the requeue, which every time I put back in the requeue, I never got another game. So I had to back out and queue up again anyway. I think they could have just skipped that entirely. All right, so once you do click accept, you've been picked onto what map you're playing, and the people have all said they're going to play that game. So you get the map.
I think also some people are saying Oheim is saying is right, because most of doesn't FPS game and matching the games which you match always do this and then accept also twice to see if the guy is AFK or not, something like that, like this. And if I'm AFK, I don't accept it. If you think about that part, it's one of the obvious things to check if I'm AFK or not. Sorry, I'll skip that.
Dedicated, and then you've got your 10 players, and then you start loading the map. So you load the map, you load the server, you load the loot, and that takes about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. Directly after that, you have to pick your preset, which you have 90 seconds to pick your preset. I don't understand. After all the experiences we've had with Escape from Tarkov, the main game of Escape from Tarkov, I don't understand why they couldn't have just gone, hey, how do we speed up this whole getting into a game experience? Most people, when they play Escape from Tarkov, they just want to, or particularly this arena mode, they're going to just want to get in there and shoot people. So why couldn't they make it that during that time where you're loading the map and the server, blah, 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 why can't you just select your preset there? That 90-second timer for selecting your preset could have gone on top of where the loading loot map server thing is, and you've now just cut that 3 minutes down to 90 seconds. So you've already saved 1.5 minutes of people's lives, and it's just, I don't know, in my mind, it's so simple. I'll touch on presets and going into the game a little bit later, but once you pick your preset, you can't change it whilst you're in a match. So why doesn't it matter if you pick it right at the very second just before you go in, or why not while you're waiting to load in the loot and the map and the server stuff? I think that's just a wasted 1.5 minutes of people's lives. If you do 1,000 games. I
mean, I understand what Pestily is saying. But that's also exactly what I just said. You choose multiple mods, and the loadouts will depend on which map you go, which play you want to do. So I think that's why.
You're talking probably 20 hours of people's lives that could have been skipped, or 25 hours of people's life wouldn't need to be wasted just sitting there waiting for the preset menu and the loading loot stuff. I just think these are the kind of things that I would love to see if they've claimed that this is a standalone game, and obviously they're using some of the coding from the original. Why didn't they implement it here? This is the perfect opportunity for them to do something like that, to start thinking about how can we make the game more fluent getting in, so then people spend less time loading loot and all the other crap.
More delay, less server load, more money for BSG. I don't think so. Does it actually make more money?
And just don't get into the game and start shooting people. That's what people want to do. If they're going to play this game, they're going to want to shoot people. Now, touching on that, when you are matching, the other frustrating thing is, if you are matching for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, all you're doing is sitting there watching a timer and a cogwheel, right? You can see this stuff down the bottom, which we can see right here. But in the past, we've all vented our frustration about how much time we spend matching. This would have been the perfect opportunity to just show, hey, why can't I just look at my stats while I'm matching? Why can't I click matching and then look at my stats? And on top of that, why can't I look at my teammates' stats? If I've got 5 people in my team, why can't I just go, hey, I'll check out bloody Red Ops' stats, or whoever you're playing with. It doesn't really matter.
Tarkov is notorious for that.
Stats, and then that way you can go, all right, sweet.
Just,
now I understand how bad
simulator.
My teammates are, or how good my teammates are. It's those little things, in my opinion, those attention to details that BSG have kind of just dropped the ball on with this, and it's reflected in my attitude towards how I think of Arena. So it's like,
I think it's right on
once
that.
again,
I didn't think
great
it that
idea,
way.
poorly executed. All right, so you finally do get into a game, and now you're starting to combat the other people. There's a couple of frustrations I have with this. The overall like game mode is pretty simple. You go kill the other people. If you don't kill them quick enough, there's like a capture point. There's generally 2 capture points. It's random which one it is. And then if you don't get the capture point quick enough, then like a kill squad comes in to kill you. If you survive through killing the kill squad, then on top of that, there's like radiation that comes in and kills you. So there is like emphasis to try and push you into fighting each other and finishing the round. So that's the emphasis of the game, or the preface of the game. The next point I want to make is there's a few things. Now, most people playing this that are taking it serious are going in Discord squads of like 2 to 5 people. They're playing super sweaty and they want to destroy you.
I made 5 stacks like multiple times.
Now, the other people that don't have friends, that are losers like me, and just go, hey, I'm just going to jump in and play the fucking game, and I don't have any friends to play with, but I might just have some fun. The problem with that is, your only opportunity to talk to other people is by VoIP in-game. Proximity VoIP. So, the other team, I've got Discord, and they're calling out all the call-outs. Oh, yeah, we just saw someone over, so like, you know, on the airplane, they're on the left-hand side, blah, 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 blah. You're sitting there like screaming over VoIP. They can't even hear because they're nowhere near them because it's proximity. I think if they wanted to really make this serious, I know there's an immersive factor that BSG want to do with this game. It's kind of like how there's that microphone high-pitched screech when you get in. I really wish they would just go, hey, we still want to make a competitive game here, so just do team VoIP, all right? It doesn't have to be proximity. Just make it that when you VoIP, you can talk to your whole team. That way you can do call-outs, just like CS and Valorant and all those other games. You can make call-outs and go, hey, you know, I died over
Immersion is why they're not adding it
there or whatever. Because the other team are generally doing it. Like, if you're going up against a 5-man squad compared to people just 5 individuals, you can tell how quickly they get demolished.
This squad is always the better.
You know, I'm watching them on live streams. Like the guys that are running in 5 deep, they're just absolutely destroying the other teams because they're just disorganized, and it's just impossible for them to even make a call out or the other team's destroying them. Now, the other thing that really like was grinding my gears is, depending on the map, some of the actual capture points after the first 90 seconds is quite far away. So for example, in the sawmill, they're literally like the other side of the map away from each other. Now, if you're in like a 2v1 situation and they split up, one goes to one side of the map, one goes to the other, and you're fighting one person, and say you do kill them, but the capture point's on the other side, you literally do not have enough time to run over there. So as soon as it says capture, it's like a 7-second capture like timer. So by the time they get on top of it, you try and run across the map, it is not even possible.
Yeah,
there's only really
it's quite
2
short.
I can think of.
It is quite short.
They either need to make the capture time way longer, like 15 seconds, because then I think that still forces the people to come into each other and fight. So I think that's cool. Or they make the capture point just in the dead center of the map every time. So yeah, okay, you can still be fighting around the outside and the edges, but when that timer goes to 90 seconds and it gets down to the point where you can start capturing, converge into the middle. And I think it would just be a lot more fun and a lot less
people will be gathering into the middle.
Is a competitive esports game, right? Otherwise, what's going to end up happening is, if you're going to play this serious, you'd always split your team and you'd have one person camp one side, one person camp the other. Then you maybe have like a 3-man go death squad around trying to kill everyone or something like that. Because it's just, particularly on a map like Sawmill, it's really irritating. Like, you're trying to do the right thing, like, all right, I've killed that guy, I need to try and capture the point, and then like you start heading to one side, next minute it's like, it's yuck. You'll see it when you play it. You're like, I didn't even have an opportunity to try and either fight or defend that point. It's like having a bomb in CSGO, but the bomb time is only 5 seconds. So you plant the bomb and it's like, well, what was the chance I had on defusing that? Now, this one, it was more about the esports side of things. When you're just going in there and you want to shoot people with your preset and all that, I don't think it's really that bad if you can change your preset or not. Maybe there's like a halfway timer. Like if it's first to 5, so say after 5 rounds, so that would be like the halfway point, you might be able to have a choice to change your selection of preset. That would kind of be cool. But not being able to change your preset is kind of frustrating, because if you, I don't know, pick a preset you just don't like, you don't really have any option, you have to play it out. Or just say your team's skewed in one direction and not the other. You don't really have the option to change that. But yeah, so in the esports side of things, when I was watching...
I mean, yeah, it's esports side things, like, most of us don't care, right? Like, I think we should start watching. It's still a good video. I like the analysis and everything, except I guess the matchmaking exception part. Yep.